Hi again, everybody. Well, it's been a minute since we last did one of these videos talking about grief support for widows and widowers. And today's topic I felt needed to be addressed maybe again. I think I've talked about this in the past, but I thought I would bring it up again. And that is the issue of new relationships after you've lost the love of your life. Is it possible? Is it okay? How will others view it? How do you view it? All valid questions, but really, it all comes down to one thing. What makes you happy? Yeah, that's really what it's all about. In my case, it took several years to work through the grieving process. And then again, the question always comes about, well, don't you still think about her? Do you still miss her? Do you still love her? Well, of course I do. We were together many, many years. But then God had other plans and called her to heaven. In fact, this month will be the 6th birthday that we'll celebrate for Pam since she's left this earth and gone to heaven. Now, the celebrations aren't as big as they were the first few years. You may recall, if you've been following me for any length of time, I used to put together celebrations where I would buy like 50 gift cards at a local restaurant and have them hand out the gift cards along with birthday cards celebrating her birthday. And then it slowly started to trickle off just a little bit, maybe just 25 gift cards, maybe 10 gift cards. And then this year, just kind of a simple prayer will be lifted up and probably a post on social media here and there. It doesn't mean that I've forgotten her and, moved on. We've talked about that term. We don't like moving on. We learn to move forward. But life does continue moving forward. And we have to make a decision whether or not we're going to embrace life and make it the best we can in the years ahead, happily we hope, or are we going to continue to sit around in sorrow and despair? And I get it. For some, it's harder than others. For me, the first 3 or 4 years were really, really hard. And a lot of people have told me that since my rebirth, as I call it, my chapter 2 in life, and now with Nicole, that they say, oh, the old Jack is back. I can't tell you how many people have said that. They said, we missed you. It's good to see you smile again. It's good to see you laugh and enjoy life. And I do, once again, enjoy life. Now, some will say or will carry guilt about being happy again. And I know in those first few years of my loss, I would get angry at people that would say, trust me, you'll feel better eventually. And I go, and in my mind, I'm going, no, I don't want to. I need to be miserable and upset for the rest of my life. And I carried that chip on my shoulder for a long time. But it has softened dramatically. In fact, I was in a Bible study class recently where we were talking about grief and loss. And I talked about that for the first time. It kind of dawned on me that, the reason God took Pam early was because he needed her in heaven. And I know that's going to sound crazy to some of you, but I think that, it was God's plans. And then he brought Nicole into my life. And he said, now here's someone that I want you to care for and love in the days and years ahead of your life. And I thought, yeah. And it's been a beautiful, beautiful thing. Now, when it comes to relationships after loss, the only advice I'm going to give you is make sure you're ready. Make sure you're ready to love again. And I do want to tell you, the human heart is capable of loving again. It's very big, our hearts are. We can love a lot of people. And we can have special relationships with new people in our life as well. But you do have to work through that grieving process. And again, the time length differs for everyone. The relationships I found out that work best, though, do tend to be the ones where the widow or widower has taken the time to work through it. And then also that the person that they find later, is going to be someone who understands that grief and understands their loss. And that's where I've been blessed. My wife, Nicole, truly understands that. But I don't dwell on it a lot anymore. Certainly don't. Around our house now, it's all decorated to our taste, not the past taste. And I had to work through that. There's still some things here that were from the first marriage, but we've done a lot of redecorating and things. Changed out some pictures. There's still pictures of Pam and our kids. And now, though, we have pictures as well of Nicole and her family, which is now part of our family. And that's been a fun experience as well. Now, the thing that happens, though, after you find somebody else is you're going to feel like there's judgment. Oh, yeah, we know it's out there. I mean, in mine and Nicole's case, of course, people going, you're older, she's younger, she's black, you're white, she's from another country, you're from this country. And you know what? When I let all that noise in sometimes, I'd start getting self-conscious about it. And going, oh, gee, maybe they're right. And then I had to remember, hey, whose relationship is this? Is this my relationship or is this the peanut gallery's relationship? It's not. Am I happier? Yes. Are we having a good time together in life? Yes. Are we learning new things together? Yes. Do we have good days and bad days? Yes. But thank the Lord, we have way more good days than bad days. But you got to work at it. Now, again, people are going to pass judgment. They just will. No matter who you meet, if they've known you for any length of time and they knew your previous spouse, they're going to always be trying to compare, or they're going to say, oh, that person's too old for you. Oh, that person's too young for you. Oh, that person doesn't like this that you liked. But they don't know. They're not in the relationship. And it's really, frankly, none of their business. That's what you got to always remember. It's none of anybody else's business but yours. If it's meant to be for another person to be in your life, I do believe God will have them cross your path. And in some cases, it will not happen. There are lots of people who have been widowed or even through divorce, things like that, who never remarry, who never rekindle a relationship, and they're doing just fine as well. And there'll be people that are going to tell you, if you're one of those people that has no interest in another relationship and nothing ever happens, they're going to be critical as well. Oh, you need to find somebody. Again, it's none of their business. It's what works best for you. Now, again, I'm going to give you my little piece of advice is don't go out there looking for love. I'm going to say that's why I've been blessed. I did not. Now, I'll be honest, I had a lot of very, very lonely days, and I would think, oh, maybe I should find some. No. And the first 2 or 3 years I can remember, I went on a couple of what I called coffee encounters. Just meeting somebody for coffee and talking. And then I would reflect back on those coffee encounters and realize that I spent a lot of time talking about me and my first wife. And that's a turnoff. And what it told me was I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. But when you do reach that point, what will happen is, that's going to be part of your background, part of your history. But you'll also find that you'll start talking about your other interest in life. And the person that you meet, you're going to want to learn as much about them as possible. And you're going to enjoy the newness of learning about new things. And in my case, learning about new culture, new people. It's been a blessing. This chapter 2 in my life, I mean, it may not be typical. I know it's not. But it's been an incredible blessing. With it, yes, have become additional responsibilities and things I hadn't counted on. Things that maybe at this stage of my life I didn't think I really wanted to deal with. But it's okay. I've got a lot of purpose. I think I've still got a lot of years left. And I'm going to make the best of them. So the bottom line today to this entire message, what it boils down to is, You got to shut down the outside noise. No matter how you're taking and directing your life now after you've lost the love of your life. Always remember that. This grief journey is yours and yours alone. Don't let your kids, your grandkids, your parents, your best friend, anybody tell you how you should be doing things. Because it always gets down to this thing. Until you've been in my shoes, you don't know. The only thing you and I have in common right now is we have lost our spouses. And all I can do is share with you my experiences and what I've done, but I'm certainly not here to tell you what to do. But again, the one thing we have in common is we both do understand the depth and pain of that loss. And some of you also understand now the recovery process and why I'm happier than I was 3, 4, 5 years ago. Because in my case, I would agree with that one old statement that time does soften the loss. It doesn't eliminate it. It softens the loss. It's always there with us. But it doesn't hurt quite as much. It's always there. And you start then to kind of lean more on just the sweet memories, things like that. You don't dwell on the actual loss and what happened. So that's about it. I hope you're doing okay. I really do. Again, this is your journey. It's your life. Take hold of it and keep moving forward. Thanks for watching. I'd love it if you'd share this. I'd love it if you'd give it the thumbs up. And we appreciate you watching. Bye now.